Fire Ethiopia, a land of endless highlands, where millions of cows, sheep, and goats graze under the African sun. A country blessed with one of the largest livestock populations in the world. Yet for decades, Ethiopia's hides and skins left its borders in their rawest form. Cheap, undervalued, and stripped of their true worth. Across the seas, in Milan, Paris, Mumbai, and New York, those same hides were turned into handbags worth hundreds of dollars, shoes worn by celebrities, and jackets displayed in luxury boutiques. That story is changing. Ethiopia has just signed a multi-million-dollar leather deal with India, one of the biggest leather players in the world. This deal isn't just about business. It's about power, dignity, technology, jobs, and Africa's industrial revolution. In today's video, we'll uncover Ethiopia's leather journey, the role of India, the global market, the challenges, the human stories, and why this moment could mark the beginning of Africa's rise as a manufacturing giant. Welcome to Eazicho Africa, the channel where we bring you the boldest stories shaping Africa's future. Stay with me. This is going to be deep. Ethiopia has always had leather. In fact, leather is woven into the nation's history and culture. The Shama sandals, worn for centuries, were made from raw hides. Traditional warrior shields were crafted from strong cowhide. Musical drums for spiritual ceremonies were stretched with goat skin. Even royal regalia in ancient kingdoms often featured decorated leather. Yet when it came to the global market, Ethiopia lagged behind. In the 1960s and 70s, Ethiopia exported mostly raw hides and skins. Tanneries were few, and most were outdated. While Italy perfected leather luxury, India scaled industrial tanning, and China became the world's leather shoe factory, Ethiopia remained stuck as a raw material supplier. This was the value chain trap. A farmer might sell a goat hide for $1. Exporters would ship it abroad. By the time it returned as a finished bag, it was worth $150. Ethiopia earned cents while the world earned millions. With over 60 million cattle, 30 million sheep, and 30 million goats, Ethiopia had the raw resources to be a leather superpower, but not the systems to capture value. That's why this new deal with India is so critical. Why not Italy? Why not China? Why India? The answer lies in India's unique position in the leather world. India's leather industry is worth more than $18 billion annually. It employs over 4.5 million people, many of them women. Indian factories produce everything from mass-market footwear to luxury jackets and gloves. India exports leather goods to more than 200 countries worldwide. More importantly, India built this success on four things Ethiopia desperately needs: technology, modern tanning chemicals, finishing processes, and design innovations. Skills, decades of expertise in scaling up leather factories while maintaining consistent quality. Capital, the financial strength to build new tanneries and shoe factories in Ethiopia. Market access, strong connections to European, Middle Eastern, and American buyers. This partnership allows Ethiopia to leapfrog decades of trial and error. Instead of struggling alone, Ethiopia can tap into India's proven systems while still keeping the benefits at home. So what exactly does this deal involve? According to reports from Ethiopian trade officials and Indian industry leaders, the deal includes building new tanneries in Addis Ababa, Majo, and Bahir Dar equipped with the latest eco-friendly processing technology, expanding leather shoe factories to produce footwear that meets European and American fashion standards, establishing joint ventures between Indian firms and Ethiopian businesses, ensuring that skills and profits are shared, setting up training academies where Ethiopian youth will learn everything from tanning science to shoe design and stitching, investing in green solutions to manage the environmental impact of leather tanning. Ethiopia's government is also providing tax incentives for investors, export benefits for finished goods, land allocations for new industrial parks. This isn't just a contract, it's a blueprint for industrialization. The global leather market is huge, worth more than $400 billion annually. But here's the shocking truth. Africa, despite having 20% of the world's cattle, contributes less than 5% of global leather exports. Because African nations export raw hides instead of processed goods, the value gap is staggering. Raw goat skin in Ethiopia, $2 to $3. Processed goat leather, $20 to $30. Finished handbag, $150 to $200. luxury branded version, $1,000 plus. This is why Ethiopia's move is strategic. By processing hides locally and exporting finished goods, Ethiopia can capture 10 to 100 times more value. Why? Ethiopia also has advantages. Geographic location, close to Europe and the Middle East. Cheaper labor costs than China or India. Vast livestock base ensuring steady supply. With the Indian deal, Ethiopia finally has the missing piece: modern technology and market access. Industrialization is not just about numbers, it's about people. Meet Alamnesh, a 22-year-old woman who couldn't find work after high school. When an Indian-backed leather factory opened near her town, she got a job as a stitcher. For the first time, she earns a stable salary, supports her family, and saves for college. Or consider Tesfaye, a farmer who used to sell goat hides for pennies. Now, thanks to better prices from local tanneries, he can afford to send his children to school. Multiply their stories by tens of thousands, and you see the human transformation behind the deal. Factories will provide direct jobs in stitching, design, and factory operations. Indirect jobs in transport, packaging, and retail. Opportunities for women, who often excel in precision stitching and finishing. Leather isn't just fashion, it's a path to social mobility. Here is something most people don't know. Ethiopian goat leather is already considered among the finest in the world. It is soft, durable, and highly sought after by luxury brands. For years, Italian and French companies quietly sourced Ethiopian hides, processed them abroad, and sold them as luxury goods. Ethiopia's name was hidden, its role invisible. Now imagine a future where Ethiopia builds its own fashion brands. Shoes labeled "Made in Ethiopia" sold in Milan. Jackets crafted in Addis Ababa worn on Hollywood red carpets. Ethiopian handbags displayed in Paris Fashion Week. With India's expertise in branding and scaling, Ethiopia can finally claim its rightful place in global fashion. But let's be clear, this won't be easy. Ethiopia faces serious challenges. Infrastructure, many roads, power grids, and transport systems still need improvement. Environmental issues. Leather tanning can produce toxic waste if not managed well. Ethiopia must invest in green tanning systems. Competition, China, Vietnam, and India are still ahead in terms of scale. Political stability. Investors need assurance of peace and consistent policy. If Ethiopia ignores these issues, the deal could fail. But if it addresses them wisely, Ethiopia could rise faster than expected. Leather is not just about factories. The entire economy will feel the ripple effects. Farmers get higher prices for hides. Transporters earn more moving goods. Local businesses thrive near industrial parks. Banks see increased transactions and loans. The government earns more tax revenue. In short, leather becomes a catalyst for Ethiopia's industrialization. If Ethiopia executes this deal well, it could become Africa's undisputed leather leader. Nigeria, Kenya, and South Africa also produce leather, but Ethiopia has the livestock scale, labor force, and now India's partnership. This could make Ethiopia the gateway for Africa's entry into the global leather market. The lesson here is simple. Africa must add value at home. Don't just export cocoa, make chocolate. Don't just export cotton, make clothes. Don't just export hides, make luxury leather goods. Ethiopia's deal shows the way. Combine Africa's resources with global expertise, and the continent can become a producer, not just a supplier. Ethiopia's leather industry has slept for too long. But now, with this multi-million-dollar deal with India, it is finally waking up. This is not just about shoes or jackets. It's about jobs for youth, hope for farmers, pride for a nation, and progress for a continent. The world should take notice. Ethiopia is no longer content being a raw material supplier. It is stepping into the future as a global competitor. And here on Eazicho Africa, we will keep telling you these powerful stories of Africa's rise. If you believe in Africa's future, hit that like button, share this video, and subscribe. Because together, we are rewriting the story of Africa's future.